Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. Today I want to give you guys an update inside of XRP. XRP has a big conference coming up which is known as Swell, and I do strongly believe that this one could see some upside potential before the rest of the high caps actually pick up. As you guys already know, I'm a lot more skeptical about Bitcoin and Ethereum, but XRP seems to be showing on the charts that it's about to make a reversal, and it could very easily start outperforming the other altcoins that are in this cycle. Hold tight, XRP community. I promise you that this is one that you're not going to want to miss out on. Ignore the FUD, ignore the panic sellers, and hold on. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Make sure that you guys click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos like the one provided for you here. And always remember, guys, I have the best Discord community out there for cryptocurrency with over 17,000 members. If you guys want to congregate with the rest of my community, share your own charts, feelings, and perspectives on the market, make sure you guys join and sign up. It's free for anybody that wants to. All you guys got to do to join is to click inside the description of this video, and there you're going to find the invitation link to my Discord server. Now, on the Discord server, I also offer my more exclusive content like the video course and signals. So if you're somebody that wants to copy along and follow every single trade that I take so you guys can be profiting alongside this whole cycle with me, or you'd rather copy and follow my 20 educational videos that are going to teach you guys all of my specific strategies for profiting, make sure you guys stay all the way to the end of this video because I'm going to be taking a couple minutes to explain how you guys can get signed up, the pros of doing so, and what it's going to take to get you guys going today. I also wanted to quickly mention that you can download my free ebook in the description of this video as well. Over 38 pages of exciting information that's going to give you guys some information on how I trade, how I invest. You guys are going to have a lot of terminology, and then I've also included a 10-question quiz in there so you guys can go through, read all the content, and then quiz yourself on the knowledge learned so you guys can fully retain all of that. You know, this is going to give you guys some more insight as to far as what my group is, what the video course comes with, and how I actually go about trading inside of my signals. So make sure you guys download that. It's free for anybody that wants to. And with all that being said, guys, let's jump right into this amazing video today. Alrighty guys, so here we are taking a look at XRP on the dollar. As you guys know, XRP has been one of my biggest holdings, and I've accumulated a great deal of this coin. Now we're going to go through, I'm going to update you guys on every single place that I've actually accumulated XRP, and I'm going to share with you guys the update as far as that analysis goes, because I think ultimately it's important for you guys to understand exactly how I've gone through and invested into this, how I've gone through and traded it, and how I'm still continuing to trade it from this day. Now we're going to go through, I'm going to give you guys a full around XRP analysis. I wanted to go into as much detail as I possibly can because I do strongly believe that the bottom is very close to being in. And in fact, I do believe the bottom was already in back down here at around that COVID crash. I just believe that we're kind of basing that out before we do kind of get the next major higher high in this move. Now for me, the first place I started accumulating XRP was at 30 cents. This was the major support floor. I started accumulating this back in 2018 at the very beginning of 2019. And from there, you know, I've just kind of continued to dollar cost average. The next place that I bought was 25 cents, which would be about right here. And then I bought once again down here at 23 cents. We bought once again down here at 14 cents when we got that COVID panic. Managed to scoop some up pretty cheap here, pretty much almost the exact bottom there. And then we ended up buying a little bit more here at 17.5 cents. So we've pretty much averaged in as good as we possibly could inside of this market. You know, the average of all of this comes out to near 23 cents per XRP. And so all of my long-term bags come out to a near average of about 23 cents per XRP. And so I'm personally going to be holding this one long-term. I feel like I've done my accumulation just about as good as anybody possibly could. And the fact is, guys, I have a lower entry price than the majority of the market out there. I'd argue that there's very few people that have an average entry price of about 23 cents because most people are too scared to actually buy when everything is dipping. You know, it was a very scary time for me to buy at 14 cents because, you know, we were right at that support. Looked like we were just about to fail support, but we didn't. And that's the way that the market works, guys. It's going to be a very scary time when the markets are selling off. And for us XRP holders, we've been tested more than just about any cryptocurrency out there. Because the thing about XRP community is this is a high cap crypto. This is a high cap crypto that also crashed about 97% inside of this cycle. Now, with that being said, it had one of the bigger corrections over the rest of the cryptocurrencies out there. Now, not only that, but when it did correct that far, it also kind of lagged behind some of the other ones, and it didn't quite make the same type of impulses. Ethereum really started breaking up hard. We had a bunch of other altcoins that were doing really well, but XRP kind of lagged behind. It really wasn't doing a whole lot. Now, the thing about this, guys, is just because XRP did that, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that it's going to fall apart. It doesn't mean that it's more bearish. It doesn't mean any of those things. In fact, all it means is that XRP is just following suit based off of the last cycle. And in the last cycle, XRP did the same thing, pretty much did nothing. It was pretty stagnant all the way through. At this point, we were already seeing a lot of altcoins like Ethereum, like Dash, like XMR. They were taking off throughout this time, and XRP lagged behind. XRP really didn't do anything, and because of that, people wrote off XRP entirely. They expected it to just continue to fall apart. They didn't expect it to be a high-performing crypto, and because of that, people left out, and they missed out on a lot of huge gains because of that. And XRP just waited until the end of the cycle to pump. XRP didn't start pumping until, March of 2018. Or of 2017. And so this thing really waited a long time before it started taking off. And we can see that based off the rest of the high cap cryptos, the high caps were starting to take off, clear back in 2016, right before 2017. And so they were about a year ahead of a lot of them. And this cycle is really no different as far as how XRP is performing. XRP has continued to be a laggard. Even though we bought them at the same time, XRP hasn't really made the same type of impulses. It's kind of waited around, and this is what I was expecting. The reason why I've been such a big XRP holder is because I've diversified heavily into Ethereum, right? I've diversified heavily into Bitcoin, and those were really my two biggest holds. I also diversified heavily into Chainlink. And for that, I had big position sizings in all of those. And those were, in my opinion, going to be the outliers. Chainlink was a no-brainer investment because it was being the best performing altcoin out of the whole market. It had the biggest impulses, and then in turn, it also had the strongest sell-offs. But because of that, I viewed that as being one of the big catalysts for this next cycle. And so it was a very easy choice for me to just invest into that market and kind of trust that one long-term. Now, Ethereum, in my opinion, is the other outlier. Ethereum has over 80% of the cryptos that rely upon it in some major way. And because of that, we can make a lot of money on Ethereum. Anytime majority of the coins are built on a platform, that platform is obviously going to see very high returns. And so that was my biggest reason for trusting Ethereum long term. Now, Bitcoin is obviously the biggest no-brainer because that's about the most stable crypto that we have, so I don't really need to go into detail as far as that. Now, XRP was my other big investment. That was really my big four. Obviously, Tezos is number 5, but that was really my big number 4 because of the fact XRP was going to lag. I knew it was going to lag throughout this bear market. I knew it was going to lag behind the rest of the high caps, but I knew that when this thing pumped, it was going to be instant profit. And so because of that, I trusted long-term that all of my investments were going to balance themselves out. Ethereum started impulsing. It started doing really well. Bitcoin started impulsing. It started doing really well. Chainlink did the same thing. It was leading the market like I expected. And the only one that really hasn't done a whole lot was XRP. But that's okay because I trusted and I knew when investing into this coin that this was going to be the case. And so when you understand these parameters, it doesn't make it hard to hold long term. You might see coins popping off. You might see coins that you're missing out on by holding XRP, but at the end of the day, you guys have to understand that it's a long-term game that we're playing here. And the thing about it, guys, is when XRP pumps, it's going to happen instantaneously. It's going to outperform a lot of the market, and it's just a different strategy for playing that. Now, for me, I like to invest and I like to diversify. That's what I did. I diversified in other high cap coins that I knew that were going to perform well, and then I diversified into XRP knowing that, in the meantime, I'll make a bunch of profit off of my other high caps doing good, and then I can continue to use that profit to buy more XRP and accumulate this bag. And when this thing pumps, it's game over from there. And so I've gone through and I've done a really good amount of investing into this coin. I'm very happy with this. And now let's actually dive into some real analysis here. With an average entry price of about 23 cents, I've nailed pretty much the bottom of this overall. Pretty much the average of this entire cluster of this retrace that we saw is where I managed to accumulate. And now when I look at this, guys, we're going to go back to some of the same analysis that I've done. Realistically, why I've been so bullish about this is because we've broken from our descending resistance here. We've had multiple attempts to break out of this, and we actually got that here at about the 1st of August. We topped out, and then this was us retesting it as support. Now, when I say this, I saw this as a couple strategies. For one, I saw this as the potential of this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 impulse, or this was just an A, B, C correction back up with us kind of falling back onto support. Now, I didn't really know where support was going to land. I thought that maybe we could be seeing the potential of about a 19-cent XRP, but it's looking like we're getting some nice bottoming structure as follows. And so I wanted to give you guys this update. I wanted to dive in and talk to you guys about some important things because we're going to have to watch and see. When I look at this, we really do have to get above this resistance at about 25 cents. If we can't get above this, then obviously we're going to be bearish. But the way it's looking, this looks really good. Looks like we could be forming an inverse head and shoulder. If we can break up and actually retest this, then that's going to be a reversal that's going to take us back up to at least that 30-cent mark, in my opinion. And then from there, we're going to finally have another run-in with the great demon at 30 cents. We all know how strong that this resistance level has been for quite some time now. This has acted as a major level for a long period of time. And we can see that every time we hit this, we either bounce on support, all of this was support, or we reject at resistance. And we can see that every time we hit this, it's been resistance since about, August of 2019. So over a year's period of time, we've been rejecting underneath resistance, but it looks to me like we could very easily be in the place where we do get another attempt to hit that. Whether we reject and fall lower from here, or whether we do finally manage to get that breakout, flip that level. In my opinion, if we break this level, we're going to hit upwards of about 50 cents. And then from there, we'll test it, and then we'll be able to go up into new highs into this move. But to me, it's very apparent that the most important part of this chart is we have to break this 30-cent mark. Now, option 1 and phase 1 that I was watching for was a break from this descending resistance. We got that right here. The 1st of August, we broke from that descending resistance. So that was step 1. Now, step 2 was we needed to actually break from this 30-cent mark. And if you guys remember, go back and watch my older videos. What I was telling you guys all the way back down in here was I was watching these two levels. I was drawing this descending resistance and I was drawing this horizontal resistance. And I said that in the next move, I expect that XRP is going to break from this descending resistance and we're going to tag this 30-cent mark right here. And that's exactly what happened right there. We broke from the descending resistance and we tagged this 30-cent mark. And from here, I told you guys that it was very important that we broke above this 30-cent mark. We held support above this level, and then that was going to dictate if we were going to go upwards of 50 cents. But what ended up happening was we rejected and we sold below that. Now, from here, we're back at this important point where we did manage to hold some short-term support. I do think we're going to get a little bit of a relief here, and this relief could very easily take us upwards of 30 cents again. Now, from here, we're going to fully decide, are we going to break this level? And if we break this level, I think that 50 cents a given, and then we'll be able to come back down, kind of retest it before going higher. But if we don't break above this level, then I would think that we're going to drop further down to, anywhere from about 17 cents. And we could even fall to retest some of the previous support levels back down at about 10 cents, right? That's kind of what the plan that I'm going to be sticking with XRP. I've accumulated a large position size of this. I am very much bullish on the long term of this. And for that, I have no problem accumulating below resistance because I do strongly believe that this is going to be one of the best performing cryptos. And I know that based off the last cycle, we did lag behind the rest of them. But when it did break out, it did it very convincingly. It went up with a lot of furiosity. And for that, if you would have just held, you would have made a lot of money. And so for that, guys, this is my basic technical analysis with XRP. This is the way that I'm personally going to be trading this market. Where I think we're at right now, we're either at a really good buying opportunity, which really you would have wanted to catch some of those wicks. But I think that we're at a solid buying opportunity. We held support above this previous resistance. So this technically could still be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave sequence because we didn't break support of that 1 wave. We're still very much above that. And so because of that, we could be experiencing a 5 wave, which I think if we do get this 5 wave, that's going to take us upwards of about 50 cents per XRP. That's personally the way I'm going to be looking at this market. And that's the way that I'm going to be watching for a breakout. If we can manage to get a breakout, I think that once we clear 30 cents, 50 cents is going to be a really easy target for us to claim. And then from there, once we hit 50 cents, that's going to be us kind of retesting the previous support that we've been rejected on for so long, right? This major support, we sold through it, rejection, rejection, rejection. If we reclaim that, I would expect a retest back onto that level. And then from there, we'd really start to impulse into pretty much new all-time highs. I don't think that XRP is going to wait around for a lot longer. I think that we're going to start the majority of our next bull run. About spring of 2021 is really where we're going to start to see coins lift off, go into major price discovery. And so from here, I think that we're just watching to see what happens with XRP. I think that Ethereum and Bitcoin could sell off. And when that happens, it's more likely that XRP would go down, but we could very easily see one of those flipping events where XRP's lagged behind the others for so long, maybe that suppression finally falls apart, and then we do get a breakout where XRP actually outperforms when the rest of the market underperforms, because this is the way XRP kind of has performed in the last cycles. You know, XRP was kind of an outlier in a lot of different ways, and so we should continue to remember the last cycle and translate that into what we're seeing today so that we can have the fullest understanding of what to expect. Because at the end of the day, guys, you know, we have a lot of market structure that's painting us exact correlations to the last cycle. XRP pretty much looked the same, really sharp declines. You know, we just pretty much went sideways for long periods of time. XRP is pretty much doing the same thing where we've pretty much just, you know, gone down, lower lows, lower highs, really slow, drawn out correction. And because of that, people are shaking out. This is where we're going to start to see the big bull run start. And so pay attention for this. Understand that nothing has really changed over the most part. You know, we're still very much looking good. You know, even though we're under resistance, the way I look at this is we could be forming, you know, this inverse head and shoulder right here. And if we managed to break 30 cents and head up to 50, that would be a reclaim and a confirmed horizontal. And that would actually be a reclamation of this 30-cent mark, a support and resistance flip, and it would also be a confirmation of this inverse head and shoulder, which I would expect to hold, and then we'd be going into new all-time highs very quickly. And so just looking at this, guys, we do have a lot of bottoming formations that are looking to be completing. We got to see what's going to happen, but overall, I wanted to give you guys this update just so you are aware with everything that's going on. Now let's actually dive into the Bitcoin pair. And talk about some key updates here. Now, when I see this, we are getting a little bit of an impulse. First and foremost, we still are below resistance, and so this could be either a good short opportunity, or we could see a little bit of a bigger buyback that takes us, you know, upwards of about up here, and then we could reclaim that before going higher. We're going to have to watch and see, but as long as we're below resistance, there's no real reason to get too excited. We're going to watch and see what happens here, because it's likely we could get one more leg lower, which if we get a leg lower, I'm personally going to be highlighting this area right here. You know, that's going to take us to about, you know, 1,500 or 15,000 Satoshis. Let's see. About 15,000 Satoshis, right around there. I would expect that that would be our last low that we would get before we do manage to break out, if in fact this low doesn't hold. Because yeah, we're just going to have to watch and see, because right now we're retesting one of the previous support levels, except it's now acting as resistance. It's very likely that the way that this trend has been behaving thus far, with lower lows and lower highs, it's more likely that we're going to get rejected here and fall for one more low. But it's also, you know, we never know. We could also see this level actually get reclaimed as support, and we could go much higher. And so when I see this, guys, we just have to be aware of all of these different scenarios. We have to understand that there's a couple different resistances that we're watching. We're watching for this horizontal resistance, you know, about 2,400 sats, and then we're also watching this descending resistance as well. I'm going to label this one green so it's a little bit easier to see here. So this is our support level down here at about 1,500 Satoshis, or about 15,000 Satoshis, and then we've got this descending resistance here. You know, we're once again just holding beneath that. We haven't made any major breaks to break above that, and we also are below this horizontal resistance as well. And so right now the odds aren't looking super good for the XRP Bitcoin pair. It looks a lot better for the dollar pair, but we're going to watch and see really what takes place here. Now let's actually dive into the Ethereum pair. Now the Ethereum pair actually looks way better. I think that the Ethereum pair is due for a strong bounce. I think that this bounce is going to take us, you know, at least a 40% impulse. You know, if we look at about the weekly time frame, we can see that we have a load of bullish divergence that's formed here. You know, we have higher highs on the price. We failed to make a lower low. But if we look at the price itself, you know, we're looking at a lot of lower low. So this is showing that the sellers are dying out. The sellers are exhausting. They're having a hard time keeping the prices at this level. And from that, you know, anytime we see a weekly bullish divergence that's this strong, it's very, very high probability that it's going to play out. And so I think that we're going to get a bounce that's going to take us, you know, upwards of about here at about 0.0012 per XRP and Ethereum. And then I think that from here, we could hold support and then go higher. Or, you know, it's also possible that we could fall and make one more low. It's really likely based off of what type of market structure we get. If Ethereum starts really ripping hard, you know, obviously XRP might get bled for another leg lower. But, you know, if XRP is kind of an outlier and we see Ethereum and we see Bitcoin bleed, we could very easily see XRP maybe make that next run and start its new uptrend while the rest of the high caps are kind of selling off from their initial impulse. These are things that we have to consider. We don't really know what direction is going to be had, but we're going to watch and see. But we do see a ton of seller exhaustion here. I think that we're going to get a strong bounce here inside of XRP and Ethereum pair. I do think that this is actually a good long opportunity for people that wanted to take it, XRP holders out there, because I think that XRP is on its way to be outperforming Ethereum over the next little while. And so I've got my bags packed. I have a large amount of XRP. I am actually thinking about accumulating some of my more for my long terms. You know, the biggest thing for me is I'm waiting to accumulate long terms before, so Bitcoin can kind of figure out which way it's going to go. Because right now we're still in pretty much a no trade zone. I don't want to buy any right here because we're so close to resistance. It's, in my opinion, the market could go literally either way. I could see the option for us breaking higher and going like that. I could also see the option for us going lower like that and going to 9K. You know, until we've actually made a higher high and until we break above these resistances, I'm personally leaning to Bitcoin going to 9K. And so for that, I'm going to be sitting out on the sidelines waiting with cash ready to buy the dip if we get the dip. If we don't get the dip, you know what, so what? I might have to end up just buying up a little bit higher. But for me, I want to wait for confirmation. I don't have the confirmation that I'm looking for right now. This to me looks bearish, and for that, you know, I'm going to continue to watch out and be skeptical on the rest of the markets. You know, in this time, like I've stated, Bitcoin could take a lower low to 9K. And when this does happen, we could very easily see XRP pump. Because one of the things that would happen often in last cycle is Bitcoin or Ethereum would top out and XRP would actually rally up and kind of finish its move. And it would just lag behind the rest of them. We could very easily see the same thing play out. And so we just have to be aware of all of those scenarios. But anyways, guys, this is the video I had for you. Quickly, before we wrap it up, I want to take a couple minutes to explain how you guys can sign up for the video course and the signals for the people that want to. First and foremost, if you like my analysis, you guys know that we do a great job here. You guys saw my trading plan with XRP. You know, we dollar cost average and we focus in on the long-term holds because at the end of the day, I get a lot of insider knowledge on different coins to hold. I have a lot of good technical analysis experience with me. And so I can go about trading these cycles, investing in them, and I can set you guys up with a great long-term portfolio, which is going to be the biggest benefit of you actually joining my signals. It's just the fact that you guys are going to be able to copy along with all the trades that I take and make a bunch of money with me, because that's the most important thing. When you get into this market and you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to make any money doing it. And that's the hardest part about this, is you guys don't understand when to sell, when to buy, how to manage a losing trade, and how to manage a winning trade, most importantly. And so people are going to sell too early. People are going to panic sell at a loss, and these are all big mistakes that, honestly, I had a lot of knowledge before. I honestly had to go through a lot of trial and error before I could even figure it out on my own, which is the thing that I try and teach you guys here. You know, I know what it's like to go through a cycle not knowing anything. I went through the whole last cycle because I bought Bitcoin at $450. You know, I've been here for a long time, but in this time, I had to make a lot of errors, and I had to make a lot of mistakes before I could figure out what I was doing. And, you know, it took me about 2 years before I could successfully trade with high frequency, and now I'm about over 4 years in, and I want to tell you guys that the new people getting into this market, the best thing that you can do is copy and follow somebody that knows what they're doing. And ultimately, that's what I do on this channel. I scour all the cryptocurrency markets looking for the best trade setups, and I post them inside of my Discord for you guys to copy. We have a ton of winners. Inside of my Discord is a track record in and of itself. You guys can go back, look at all of those, see for yourself. And I also have a ton of people that have also mentioned very positive results. And so I always recommend, guys, joining that signal, signing up for the signals first and foremost. You guys can copy my portfolio, make a bunch of profit in the process. And then if you really want to pursue it, I also offer my video course, which is 20 educational videos that are going to teach you guys all of my technical analysis skills. I'm going to teach you guys how I trade, all the basics, all the intermediate stuff, as well as the more advanced stuff. We're going to go through market cycles, emotional psychology, support and resistance, trend lines, how to manage trades, risk management. All of those different things are going to be taught to you in there, so you guys, by the end of it, will understand how to go about profiting the market in a successful way. But with that being said, guys, I always recommend going with the signals first. If you have to choose one, you guys can actually purchase them together or separate. Once again, links are provided for you in the description of this video. There you're going to find the website to actually purchase those. Now, lastly, before we wrap up this video, video, I also offer the ebook. So for the people that don't want to actually buy anything yet, you want to wait a little bit longer, make sure you guys download my free ebook. It's over 38 pages long, full of exciting information that's going to give you guys a little bit more in-depth analysis as far as what to expect joining from my VIP groups. You guys are going to understand kind of how my course works a little bit. You guys are going to understand how I take trades and how I post those in the signals. And you guys are also going to have a quiz in there, a 10-part question quiz that's going to be able to test yourself on all of the knowledge and resources learned inside of that book. So you guys can go through, read all of it, take the quiz at the end, and see if you guys are up to par with everything that it's going to take to and be required to profit inside of this market. So make sure you guys check that out. Links are in the description. You guys can download my free ebook if you want. You guys can also sign up for my video course in signals. Make sure you guys get access to that. It's full of exciting stuff. And with all that being said, guys, I will catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.